So what if that rumored iPhone 17 Air doesn't end up being the most expensive iPhone after all? It seems TikTok is having a very hard time trying to save itself from the US ban, and yes, the Nintendo Switch 2 is actually looking hotter than expected according to a new batch of leaks. I'm Jaime Rivera, and we've got 3 topics today, even if one of them is more like 3 extra ones. Just bear with me. This is Tech Briefing. The official news today start with TikTok. Yeah, the platform where I went viral once and I'm still waiting for that second miracle. Anyways, we've heard of the company getting banned unless it sells to a US company that'll ensure there's no sort of external government interference. Thing is, a federal court has rejected TikTok's request to delay the ban any further than January 19th, which is the original set date. The decision made by a panel of 3 judges is a significant setback for the company as it fights to keep its application available in the United States. So what's next? Well, TikTok now plans to bring the same request to the Supreme Court. Now, it's interesting that they're not necessarily making the case for why they shouldn't get banned, but instead a case for delaying things. Not sure how much of all this sits in politics, with it being pretty obvious that if the next presidential term starts on January 20th, maybe that's why they're fighting for delays instead of fully fighting back. The company actually noted that President-elect Donald Trump might take a different approach to the issue, referencing his past comments about the application. The federal court already ruled that a delay was unwarranted, so now it's up to the Supreme Court. Obviously, TikTok will have to file a case at a higher instance, and sure, there's a possibility the Supreme Court won't consider it to be admissible or that it won't happen before the ban. In a statement, TikTok emphasized its commitment to protecting free speech, saying the voices of over 170 million Americans will be silenced unless the ban is stopped. Thing is, it's not like if these same people aren't already on Instagram and YouTube, which don't do so. I'm curious to know what you think about this in the comments. Apple seems to be gearing up for a significant amount of product changes in 2025, and it makes sense because numbers right now aren't necessarily crazy. There are at least 3 topics here, so let's begin with the iPhone SE 4. Now more than ever, Apple needs an affordable iPhone that can bring more users to Apple Intelligence, and if rumors are true, this might happen around spring. A major change could be that even if we could still get just a single camera, it'll be a 48-megapixel module. Reports claim that it'll get the Fusion camera name, so expect similar processing to the more expensive models, and hopefully of 24 megapixels in results and even a 2x crop and zoom. The front will reportedly be of a 12 megapixel true depth camera with Face ID, meaning goodbye Touch ID once and for all. We hear LG Innotek will be a primary supplier of the camera modules, though these are most likely Sony sensors. The estimated price remains at around $400, though we're still wondering about essentials like size. Some of us still hope we would get a mini treatment for at least the SE, but nothing indicates the possibility. Now, any Apple Intelligence will most likely mean an A17 Pro or A18 chip to power the device, so that's at least something to look forward to. The bigger iPhone-related story for 2025 seems to be that iPhone 17 Air, and what if I told you it might not necessarily be as expensive as we thought? See, historically, every time Apple has made major changes to the iPhone, like with the iPhone 10, we saw a major price hike. This iPhone 17 Air is hinting to changes that could be that major, like multiple sources claiming that this device will be more than a millimeter thinner than the existing iPhones, and we've even heard of a possible center-based camera module that can provide the functionality of multiple lenses. Thing is, if the plan is to keep the Air name, these aren't more expensive than the Pros in other lineups, so it seems this phone will fully replace the Plus iPhone, not just in the shelf at the store, but also in that $899 price tag. Sources claim that Apple might be betting on its sleek design to appeal to consumers looking for a visually distinct device that's more affordable, since sure, rarely do people take full advantage of the Pro models. Think of this as Apple's own kind of competition to a foldable that remains flat. And yes, I know, it's like if I made the perfect segue for a third topic. We've been waiting for an Apple foldable, heck, since these exist, and that's mainly because once Apple does something, it pretty much validates what others have already been doing for years. We've heard of the company working on multiple prototypes for years, but now we hear of products 2 to be exact. Reports have a foldable iPhone being launched first with a larger display than even the 6.9-inch 16 Pro Max. I know, crazy. It'll be inward folding just like everyone else, because yeah, even Apple's reported folding test didn't go well as expected. That said, don't expect this to happen in 2025. The source claims it'll be around 2026 at the earliest, and of course, this could possibly be another canceled product as well. Now, the bigger story though, and take the word literal, is that there might actually be a bigger 19-inch foldable. Not sure if it'll be an iPad, but the report calls this more to be a MacBook. We've seen Asus and Lenovo build out massive tablets that can become laptops, but where software always gets in the way of execution. If Apple can nail the idea of an iPad that can morph into a MacBook, that would be everyone's dream since the 2010 iPad was announced. Though yeah, we've been waiting for that long for this to happen, so let's see if that also comes to fruition in 2026. And finally, for the hottest news today, let's talk about Nintendo. Can you believe that the Nintendo Switch is now 8 years old? So yeah, you bet it's about time for a successor. The company's president teased back in May that we should see a successor announced by the company's fiscal year of 2025, so set your calendars for March 31st. Thing is, the company has been great at keeping design rumors under control up until now, cause case makers take care of that problem. Dbrand just announced its new Kill Switch 2 case, and you know where that's going. The product page shows a render of the case along with a mock-up of the new console. Based on Dbrand's measurements, this new console, referred to as Switch 2, is wider and taller than the Switch OLED, but about the same thickness. The Switch OLED is 242mm wide, 102mm tall, and 13.9mm thick, while the Switch 2 is 270mm wide, 116mm tall, and 14mm thick. It may also have a larger 8-inch display, supported by rumors and measurements of the case's cover glass. Now, another cool change is that the Joy-Cons on this model might attach magnetically and include an ejection button at the back. Dbrand's case design even lets the Joy-Cons detach while still inside the case. Now, we also hear of a new button under the home key, and it has a C printed on it, but its function is unclear. It could replace the capture button found on the original Switch's left Joy-Con, or have a completely new purpose. Interestingly, Nintendo used C buttons on the Nintendo 64 controller for camera control back in 1996, which might hint to its role here. The company's president did tease backward compatibility with Switch games and even Nintendo Switch Online, so we'll see how everything ends up panning out. In today's question, let us know, what would be your biggest request for the Nintendo Switch 2? Because listen, in my case, all I want is a more modern chip, 3nm or whatever, that'll be able to give us comparable games to bigger consoles and not just weird variations of them. But that's just me. Leave us a comment down below, we'd love to know your opinion. Friends, again, Tech Briefing is a work in progress, and for it to reach phase 2, we need your support. Please give us a like and subscribe, and also give us all the feedback you can provide in the comments to help us make this a better product for you. While you're at it, follow me on social media as well. I'm Jaime Rivera. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.